welcome back. It is a new moon, which means it's a new cycle, which means we have a new flow ahead of us. I am luteal, about to bleed, so I have a little bit of luteal brain fog. So I have my notes here that we're just going to drop into the feeling tone of this cycle ahead, and then we'll get into our practice. But I just want to synthesize a couple of deep astrological themes that we're moving through as a collective, and then we will personalize those more throughout our time together. So first things first, I am synthesizing both tropical and sidereal astrology together. And this looks like taking two different frameworks and bringing them into a sense of union. So good news, the new moon is in Pisces for both frameworks, which makes my work easier and our work more unified. Pisces is all about dissolving. It's the last astrological sign in the zodiac, so it's essentially the death of the astrological year. So there's this idea of surrender into endings, not through force, not through have-tos, not through any doing effort, but a lot of deep surrender. Think water, think fluidity, think like very liminal and floaty. So the new moon is there. This is a powerful time for us to really consider what is rigid within ourselves, around us, and where we can soften, where we can release, where we can let go. So the major themes really are all around surrender, receptivity, intuition, feeling, and letting go, dissolving, being dissolved. Think of putting yourself in water and allowing yourself to just be renewed, washed clean. Things that don't belong get swept out with the current and away. Second, there's this both and threshold that's happening because in tropical, the sun will be moving into Aries, and in sidereal, the sun will be moving into, or is already in, Pisces. So we are technically in Pisces for one more moon cycle, which is the end of the astrological year. But if you follow tropical, we're moving into Aries season, and that's the first sign of the zodiac, which is this initiation energy. It's a fire sign. It's all about getting the engine started. It's expressive, it's bold, it's creative, it's let's go, let's do, let's not stop, go, go, go. There's lots of fire energy, and it's the first sign of the astrological year. So there's this sense of new beginnings, a new cycle, a new yearly cycle is starting, and if you're following sidereal, you're still in the old cycle. The old cycle is still being released. So there's this both and threshold we're sitting in with fire and water. And when you put fire and water together, you get steam. And that's going to be like a really guiding light for us in our flow together. We're really going to be working with the dynamics of how do we get fluid and how do we build fire, build heat in the body. And that's not necessarily through sweat, but it can be. But we're looking for this balance of intensity as well as softening. How can we feel the power and strength of our postures and the dissolving rigidness, the tense, the holding as well, right? So we're looking for this balance between what is dissolving, what is old, what is dying, what is being reborn, and there's this new momentum building, this new energy. We're also entering, as this new moon finds us, into the spring equinox. So Aries fire here is really timely for the earth season, in a sense that we are all waking up from winter. So there's this revving up of our engines again, right? Like starting the flames, starting the fire, stirring the pot, getting the energy stirred up so that we can begin to create whatever it is we're looking to create in our lives. So we're going to try to be holding this both and posture and theme through our time together in this yang flow, as well as the yin flow that will follow this practice. Great, so that's the new moon. The full moon tropically, we'll be in Libra, which is all about balance, right? Which fits so beautifully into the both and of fire and water. We're going to be looking at how we can balance that within our bodies, how we can get these quick bursts of energy and then soften down into stillness, into receptivity, into depth, and then bring ourselves back up into heat, into movement, into intensity, and back down again. And then in sidereal, it will be in Virgo, which to me is a very embodied earth sign. Hello, buddy. Hi. And it's all about being in the body, right? So the full moon is really going to bring a lot of ground to what is otherwise a very like dissolving container of fluidity and messiness and feelings, and then like a surge of energy that brings us up into the heights, into combustion, essentially, right? So we're looking at the full moon, what we're going to be getting is this like really beautiful balanced earth energy that's going to bring solidness to this big jump of dissolving and then growing and then dissolving again, right? We're looking for our baseline, our foundation, where we can feel equanimous or at stillness, at balance point between both polarities. And then, yeah, so we're just really going to be balancing between deep surrender and the momentous, you know, fire, combustion, momentum energy that we are moving into and that we have been moving into for the last several cycles. So if you are just feeling an intensity of emotion and energy, you know, it's part of the times we're living in.